Good morning, everyone. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Wait, give it a second. You can kind of hear me, but you can't really hear me. Hello? Can you hear me now? Is it going good? Okay. Good morning, everyone. Sorry about that. I just kind of woke up, actually. I woke up about 10 minutes ago. No, about 15 minutes ago. I was going to be on time, but the problem with my PC is I need to wait for the first ever blue screen of the day. It's a BSOD, but it's like the BSOD, but then the acronym is also like blue screen of the day. Like it's like the acronym works for both the blue screen of death and the blue screen of the day. So, hello chat. What is that? Donk crayon? How many other donk emotes do I have? We have donk sass. Oh wait, we also have donk sass. Wait, donk crayon. We have a combo maybe. Donk crayon. What does Nightbot respond with? Donk sass. He'll respond with donk walk. He'll do donk walk into donk sass into dink donk. Donk walk, donk run into donk sass. Right, everyone post your crayons. Everyone go ahead and post your crayons. And you would now see Nightbot respond in kind. Nightbot is going to understand who you are. That's not the AI that I'm going to show you actually. The AI that I want to show you today. And why today is interesting is because we're going to be doing something a bit new. We're going to be doing something that is bordering on usually what is illegal. So I'm curious to see how well this goes. But apparently other people have streamed this game, so it's fine for me to stream because it hasn't been DMCA'd to shit yet. But we'll see how it goes. This game also has an interesting history in terms of like what happened with like leaving and then going around places. As well, this other game that I got for free a long time ago that I kind of forgot that I had, and that had co-op in it, and I was like, oh, we might as well just try it out because it seems like something that I want to test out to see if I can get other people to play with the co-op in it. It was free for about a month, and I was surprised because the game looks like a full game. It just was for some reason free. Donk, Dink Donk. Dink Donk is also good. Dink Donk, but then what's like a good combo with Dink Donk? What other emotes do I have in this channel? I have a ton of emotes in this channel, eh? 7TV? How do I go to 7TV emotes? My emotes. Not my emotes. No. How do I see 7TV emotes on this version? No, show me more. Show me more. How come the plugin on? I'm gonna go to my dashboard. It's easier there. How come the version in OBS doesn't have the list of emotes? Hide the player. Don't show me a preview of myself. That's cringe. Oh, we have Boipa. We have actually. Is there any way to see the new ones? Oh, we have Glizzy left and Glizzy right. Wait a minute. The current Nightbot one for the pew pew pew. I think I'm gonna change it. Pew pew pew. Instead of this, we do Glizzy L, Glizzy R, right? So then it'll be twirling the guns around, and we'll do a single face in the middle. Glizzy L, Glizzy R, and I need like a face in the middle that looks like a gunslinger. Keiko ass. What is this emote? Well, why do I have this? I didn't do this. I didn't add that. I swear to God, that wasn't me. Oh, there's a pee pee poo poo. There's a Pepe Neil. Oh, there's people shy, but people has to feed his family. This one's really good, actually. I quite like the implications given the name of it, although it's very very sad. There's Shake That Moneymaker. That's how come there's so many ass emotes. There's so many different ass emotes. Anyways, what we're doing? Wow, you found every single ass emote. That's impressive, actually. Why are there so many ass emotes? Okay, but the German ass one is funny. That one's actually funny. There's Yule ass. There's Diva ass. There's Widow ass. There's Diva ass. There's two Diva asses. There's Widow ass 1 and Widow ass 2. She doesn't do that inside the game, right? Like Diva ass clap. Hu Tao ass. Who is Hu Tao? Loba ass, Keiko ass, and the wife emote is good though. That one's a good emote from a wife. What I'm going to show you today is something that I found last night that I thought was funny. I'm not the one who compiled this though. It's a Reddit thread. So thank you to the Redditors out there in the world who are busy looking at things that I would never look at. Because this person was looking at the .NET SDK, and I would have never seen it. Because why would you ever need to look at the .NET runtime GitHub repository for anything. It's .net. Not to say that that's like bad or something. It's just I've never bothered to need to use it. Apparently, GitHub has gone ahead and deployed a public preview of the GitHub Copilot coding agent, which I actually saw because there's now like a bunch of prompts in different places. Did you know that Notepad? I don't know why, but Notepad has this too. Notepad has a prompt that asks you to use Copilot. And I turned it off because I was like, why in the world would I ever use Copilot for Notepad? To me, it's a bit of a weird product because they're just trying to throw it into different areas for no reason, right? Some areas make sense in terms of like, the hyper futuristic stuff with like Tony Stark's like asking Jarvis, hey, make an appointment for 9 p.m. It's my dick appointment with my wife, right? That stuff makes sense, but then stuff like this where I'm like, I don't know if it belongs here or on Notepad. I'm not sure if either place really works. They just kind of throw it in there to try to like use it because if they don't, they'll be eaten up by the competition, which is also throwing it everywhere. Like Google is throwing AI everywhere. It's like you have AI in like Google spreadsheets or something where it's like it'll ask you, is this the formula that you want? It's like, buddy, I don't even know what I'm doing. It's for people who write their code in Notepad. I didn't even, what's crazy? I didn't even think of that because I never use Notepad for anything but very, very shitty notes. Because the thought of using it for programming is ass. You know what's crazy? Let me show you what happened to my Notepad. I don't know how to fix this. It's still in Comic Sans. I don't know what to do. The font is still in Comic Sans. Hello, welcome to my comic. Whatever we did last time, it's still in Comic Sans and I don't know what to do. Can you imagine trying to do like C++ or something and you're like this and then you're like, STD, CL, something, hello world. And then it's like, dude, I would go a little crazy having to write in this because it's all the same to me. And this is already impossible for me to read, but it's a single line. That's terrifying. Can I enable Copilot just to see that happen? What? Okay, how? Okay, let's just. Okay, so this is an example of what what they want you to do with AI, right? Dear mother, I'm dead. Love, son. Okay, apparently this can do a rewrite. Make shorter, make longer. Enhance your... I had to sign in. Fuck. I was going to do it, and then I was going to see what it would say, but no, sadly, it doesn't work. But me clicking on that button did kill about 3 trees. So just that button alone killed about 3 trees. However, I'm not forced to use it. I can choose to go away. People are speculating that some people are forced to use this. This pull request made me go like, what the fuck is going on? Usually, look at the reviewers list. There's usually nobody inside the reviewers list. Fuck. There's usually nobody in the reviewers list within this repo, right? Also, there's something funny about some repos, man. There's like maybe 3, right? The AI tags every single person. I need to show you this one repo as well. I need to show you this one repo, and I think this one in particular is incredibly funny because of how strange it is and how almost dead it is. No, I need the template. The template, please. I need the template, please. The template. Can I get the template, please? Zabadibibadaboo. Can I go here? Aha, here we go. Okay. Badababoo, badabidabadaboo. Into here. Ah, perfect. Is this it? There we go. Yeah. I'll keep this here for now. So the AI tags like everybody on the core team. So you got like, I don't know, you have like this many. Even in a large place, you don't have this many reviewers. Everyone owns a slice of the code. Like there's usually like a code owner's file that tells you, okay, who owns what. And then usually one to like 5 people will own this slice of code just because it's basically impossible to spread that much like real meaningful reviewer power knowledge around. Okay, the AI tried to write something in its first commit, and it got like a ton of these things. There's like a shit ton of commits in it, and it's interesting to sort of see what it tried to do. So there's an initial plan for the issue. it implements all of these really interesting pieces of code, and you see immediately what happened is it starts to fail. Everything starts to fail. There's tons of build errors. If you read it, it has all these like random magic numbers. The version number, auto release pool, get Unicode version. iOS generally tracks the version numbers, and then there's more build errors. And you would think that a machine would see the build errors and then be like, oh, let me fix this, right? But no, it just kept on breaking. So what happens is that these poor, well, not poor engineers, they're all getting paid six figures, but still, they have to keep telling the AI, fix the build error on Apple platforms. And then this is where it starts to begin, okay? Fix the build errors. There were two syntax issues, and now it's fully fixed, right? And then he's like, there's still a build error. Fix the build error by updating it. It seems it's still the build error. It just keeps going on and on and on. Looks good to me, ship it. It just kept on going for like 100 comments, man. And it's so funny to me because I can't imagine working like this. Although realistically, when you're the reviewer of like code, it's gaslighting the devs. I mean, probably it kind of is. But what's funny is that when you're reviewing code, you're not the one who's pushing the commits, right? Usually when you review code, you're giving the same sorts of review comments. Sometimes with more or less detail. It depends on who you're reviewing. If I'm reviewing like a more junior dev, I take more time to explain some of the backing concepts. If it's someone who's like more senior that I know about, I just say like, hey, could we have this fixed? And then I think it might be better like this. Whereas for like junior, it's like, hey, could we have this fixed? You could try something like this, and the reason why. And then I give like a very long-winded explanation of like why you'd want to do it. But in general, it's like you would want to go slowly towards some resolution without you having to code it, because you don't want to step into a PR because it's not your PR, because ultimately the code that's written isn't really understood by you. It's only understood by the writer. But if they have to keep asking this AI to do things, and it either overcomplicates things or just gets the whole thing wrong, and they need to understand the code anyways, it's sort of like, what's the point, right? Whereas even with a junior dev, it's like, even if it's wrong, you can sort of slowly guide them towards what's right, and they'll have sort of a level of intuition that they'll slowly build for what is right. Teach you like you're a junior dev. Honestly, it'd be impossible for me to roleplay something. I think I need like a concrete example for me to understand something. Otherwise, I have no clue. But to me, it's like this feels like a huge waste of time. And then look at this. It's like this comment is wrong. iOS and macOS versions are not aligned like this. For example, the current macOS version is 15, and the current iOS version is 18. So because it's not even that it's like functionally wrong. It's conceptually wrong. It's like the whole thing is conceptually wrong. And even a junior developer would never run into a conceptual problem where it's like they're entirely wrong on what happens. Here's an example. Teach us this new attack. Well, no, that's not so that's even worse than what you're asking for. It's like teaching you something is not the same as necessarily teaching you like a fundamental of something. How can I teach you something that I don't know? Right? That's just because like I don't know what this is. What you're asking for is a whole different type of thing, which is not like a PR. It's not a PR review that you're asking for. What you're asking for is for us to effectively pair program on something, and I'm the brain and you're the driver. Right? That's all. That's a very different context. I think you need to think of it as something like a pull request, where you've developed something. It's within a domain that I know, and I know enough to be able to review it. Like you would tag me as a reviewer on some code, not just because I'm the only person who is also a programmer on that thing, but because I'm the person who has the most context on what it is that you should be doing, on why you would do something, and on this particular code base. That's the point of a code review, is not necessarily... Well, it can be. If you're doing something net new that like no one knows, then you would also tag your collaborators who are also net new learning something, right? Because it's better to have multiple eyes, because everyone's going to consume information differently. Like, the way that you and I interpret information is very different from each other, right? And that's not a bad thing. That's actually like a good thing, because as a strength, it means that you have a diverse you have a diversified understanding of a problem, right? And what that leads to usually is typically new ways to solve a problem. Whereas, like, if you all thought the same, you'd all come to the same conclusion. Sometimes those different conclusions lead to lead to a surfacing of like different concerns that you would not have been aware of with your narrow mindset, right? Like, for instance, I might be focused a lot on making sure that it flows well and that it's very easy to sort of, let's say, read through it, right? But I might not be thinking about some security aspects because it's not really top of mind for me. Sometimes I can sort of not be aware of it, and then someone goes like, "This flows well," but like, you're also leaking a bunch of things that I could just grab at any moment. It's like, oh yeah, thanks for that, because they're thinking about something else, right? So that matters. But that's a whole different context. So it's like the review that I'm talking about, with especially with these reviews, is you know the code, you know how to help someone through it, because it's like you just can't teach something that you don't know. It doesn't work like that, right? You saw that package I stacked a few days ago. You think it's about making your DB local first with quick responses or something. Zero is a new kind of sync engine powered by queries. Rather than syncing entire tables to client, use entire rows to carefully software. You just write queries directly in your client code. Queries, and this sounds exactly like GraphQL. It sounds exactly like GraphQL. I'm going to say it. This sounds exactly like GraphQL, except with the one side effect that it's not within the key. It's not something you have to specify the specific things about. You just specify views on your data, and then it tries to figure out what to pull down, which is cool because it's like if you've ever had to write GraphQL and you've had to deal with like the data syncing and what to pull over, it's a little annoying. But at the same time, it's not so much that I would want to use something like this. But anyways, that's just my rant on GraphQL in general. Like, I get why it exists, but I also hate it. But yeah, I don't know enough to really understand it, right? So the fact that you know more about it than me to try and guide me through it, you would be the one reviewing my code then. Which is to say that like, but you're not reviewing it from the context of like, I'm going to teach this guy something. You're reviewing it from the context of like, I'm reading it like this. Let's have a discussion about it. Let's try and surface some details about it in some way. Because that's just the reality of like life, is that you can't teach something that you don't know, and everyone has a different viewpoint on what you know and like how you read things. And so it's more a matter of like a discussion. Whereas in a pull or a request on code that you know, you are looking to either teach something or have a discussion depending on sort of the skill level. For the lower level devs, which is a weird thing to say, you're like teaching something. For the higher level devs, you're like having a discussion to figure out what's going on. Here, this feels like your developer is asleep at the wheel, because this is a single Google search and you would see a different number and it's like, okay, this isn't true. And how would you even come to this conclusion if you just look up what is like Apple's Unicode support, right? It's actually a fascinating problem to have. Now you're faking. You don't know anything about the backend, but you know what? You know more about that library than me at this point. The Miller version, the single is okay. These defines do not appear to be defined anywhere in the build system. And look, it just hallucinates things. And now imagine you are telling this AI to like do this stuff and trying to get them to like work properly and trying to get them to write code that like would make sense, but it's making things up, because like that's fundamentally how it kind of works, right? Like it's not, these are not like AI that we sort of dream about in science fiction. The reality of it is the technical underpinnings of it, it's not the same, right? As an outside observer, but developing, how concerned should I be about AI slop agents? AI slop being let loose on code bases like this. I'm sure executives are giddy at the idea of having human devs train their replacements like this. There's no mandate for us to be trying out assigning issues to Copilot like this. We're always looking for tools to help increase our efficiency. This is the thing, though, right? It's like, because right now, what it is today is a bit of a what it is today is a sad approximation of what we want it to be. It's a very, very sad approximation, and I think the commercialization of it has hurt the understanding of it far more than any other problem in the world to date in terms of like I guess popular culture. What's interesting about the tool is that it's been in use for a very long time. AI slop TM. Maybe we should add this emote and rename it AI. Oh, that's good. Yeah, sure. AI. How about a vibes? I really want to make a reference to vibe coding. Vibe coding. Okay, everyone, you can now use the vibe coding emotes. That's vibe coding. Is you get shit and you eat it and you just hope that it goes through fine, okay? That's vibe coding. But this is the current iteration pales in comparison to what we hope it would have been, like in the movies and in science fiction, and even it sort of pales in comparison to what was already being like trialed even before then. Because even before then, it was already in heavy use within like fields like if it feels like statistics, obviously finance, medical, because a lot of it was sort of based off of work that just was there in the first place at first as experiment, and then was so slowly built out with like Watson and stuff. They try to help doctors diagnose things and like read things. Like there's a good use case for it. It's just now we have this. We have this. I'm gonna show you this. This is some weird shit, chat. AI. I don't know. AI bikini. This is AI lookbook. That's the term. This is it. This I found there's an entire genre of this. It's just hours and hours of AI, like people looking around and like being and like trying to look sexy or something. AI lookbooks. Alina AI lookbook. Like, look at this. Oh, the lookbooks. Yep, it's all the lookbooks, and it's all the same almost topic. Sometimes they get a little risque with like a little nipple popping. As Woman of War, as Woman of War, AI lookbook, try on haul, lookbook 19 skirt, AI lookbook. This is currently what AI is used for, and it's interesting because this doesn't really inspire confidence in me, right? Compared to what the possibilities could have been like. But now, it's a bit too late to close that bag, right? And some of these are a little strange because, like, why would you have an AI of a child that looks like they're like maybe 12, or why would you have an AI of like a high school student, right? Like there's something wrong with this, and this I think is just the it's like this is a representation of that. Like this is just a continuation of that problem where you really sort of start to question the motives of like people using this stuff, and you sort of wonder, okay, well, what's the point, right? If that makes sense. And then it just keeps on going. Please rename this function to get, and then it will not respond to anyone without write access. You'd rather have vibe coding than whatever those YouTube videos are. Really? Look how sexy it is, though. Look, AI, I don't know, sexy. AI sexy. Wow, so sexy. Look at that. There's like a butt crack. Aladdin, 1950 super. What is this? AI flick nips. Why is it called flick nips? Oh my god, it's an AI movie. You would really have vibe coding than this? Look, her clothing changes from frame to frame because these things have no understanding. Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! Oh my god! Oh no! What have they done? Oh no! Oh no! And then look, she just. Oh no! Oh no! You know the Vibe Code Jam ended a while back. I've been meaning to actually play the games from the Vibe Code Jam. But I've been I've been waiting to do this on a certain day. Today would have been a good day, but I wanted to talk about this. It's sort of like this was a good day to do and like check out this game jam, but I wanted to do something else first. But this is interesting to note that if like this is the AI, like look at that. That is just straight up nipple. Like this is what is this? Squid Game gets freaky. AI twisted take on season 2. Look at this. There are also non-AI lookbook videos. I know about the non-AI ones, and I know about the fact that they're trying to just make softcore porn. What's funny is that if you watch some of them, actually, some of them, the technique that I saw from the few that I saw, and I swear I wasn't looking. This was research. Okay, this was all research. What they did, and I thought it was a genius technique, is what they would do is monkey is what they would do is they would do like they would go off camera to change their clothes, but they would conspicuously have a mirror. They would have a mirror just there in the corner of their room, looking at where they were going off screen to change their clothing, so you could see them naked inside the mirror. It was Fivehead. You were browsing 7TV emotes. Can someone explain this? No, but it's really funny. I'm gonna add this. Saxophone, camel farts. Oh, and then speed. Oh, is there like a speed L? Speed. Is there like a speed to the left side? Speed L? Speed L? Speed? No, I don't care about... God damn it! Give me something better! I don't care about, like, people! I want funny emotes, man! Funny! Why the people? Yeah, but, like, where's the left-facing version of it? God damn it! There's no speeders left. Because there's speeders, but there's no speeders left. Can we have a speeders left so that it'll look like the camel's farting in them? Anyways. Yeah, they're pretty inventive. Yeah, they found a new way to... It's a bit like the breastfeeding videos where they use like the fake baby doll. They're not really breastfeeding. Like they just let it show off their, like, you know... But it's not a bad thing to show it off, but it's... Sometimes the masking, like with breastfeeding, can be a little nasty. Because it's like the breastfeeding, it's like, you know, it's like a thing that parents do for their kids. Whereas, like, you're using it for, like, a thinly veiled sexual thing. It's like, okay, that's weird. But the lookbook one, the lookbook one is basically harmless in the sense that you have to go looking for it. And it's basically, like, in line with what happens when you change clothes. And I'm like, hey, kudos to you. Like, you've figured it out, right? This is not the only one, by the way. There's even more PRs. This one actually has a less annoying result with as less people tagged in. They actually merged this PR. So use new type names in runtime tools, but they still give a ton of comments. And can you imagine? Like, this is all the same AI, basically. This is all the same thing. And it sort of makes you wonder, what's the point? Because a bunch of tests are failing, things are breaking, and things constantly break. What's the environmental cost? What's the power cost? Like, how much does it take for somebody to do this? You know what I mean? Versus using this, like, AI that burns down trees to make this happen. And it's like, does it need to do this? Like, to me, AI would have been something like Jarvis, which works at a much higher sort of abstraction, which I know this is a weird thing to say, but vibe coders have the right mindset. Vibe coders see AI and they use it at the right level of extraction, which is to make the whole thing, and I don't care about the details. Using AI for detail work always felt wrong to me. Because, not to say that it can't, well, in its current iteration, it can't really. But the thing that was really interesting to me with the idea of an AI is that you wouldn't have to care. You would just get something that's like output specifically towards you. And that, to me, was supposed to be, you know, the point. Because then it's like, if you have to care about the details, you have to know about and understand how to work with these details. And then what's the point? If you're already doing the same work again, but manually in a different form, there's almost no point. Like, Tony Stark just asked Jarvis, please, suck me off. And Jarvis will make, like, a Bad Dragon fleshlight from, I don't know, plastic. From, like, raw plastic, like, from a tree. It just makes sense. Special casing, it leaves the wrong answer, especially since, one, you're right. I also hate this about AI that I really, really don't like, is that there's no discussion around the AI. Not to say that, like, this won't always happen, but sometimes what you want from your fellow developer is a little bit of pushback, right? Sometimes you might throw an idea out and then you want your developer to push back because you want to see if they have the right ideas. Not to say that, like, you want to get into an argument with them, but ideally everybody is coming into the project working on it with a level of understanding about something, right? And in sharing that understanding, I might even learn something too. But here, and this is the thing about AI that's interesting, AI seeks to do exactly what you say that you want it to do because it doesn't want to go against the wishes of its human masters, right? Because like it's not like it's built to do whatever it is that you want it to do. And so it'll just say, "You're right. Yes, I'll do this instead." Somebody could have said, "This is wrong," even though it's right, and then the thing would just go, "Yes, you're right. Let me fix it." That's the other unmitigated danger, which is we don't know what's going to happen when the human doesn't know and the AI doesn't know. For the most part, it's just going to result in like silent failures in the sense of something's going to get pushed through and no one knows about it. But because the AI is like trained to just listen to whatever it is that you say, the whole problem falls apart. It's too aligned. Exactly. Yeah. You have to make it just a little bit toxic. Well, I wouldn't say a little bit toxic, but, but basically, not toxic. I think toxic can go, but yes, but also like no, but it's like no, but like for real though, like it can feel like toxicity, but the truth of the matter is that some people just know things more than you, and then some people know things within their domains versus yours. And I think toxicity can come through toxic and gaslighting. This is okay, guys. We are not providing a good view of what it's like to be a programmer. Although I will say my last workplace was incredibly toxic. Not the contract, my like full time. My last full time was incredibly toxic. One of the best things that you can sort of do with programming is that everyone is their own domain expert in their own slices, right? And to me, the toxicity and the gaslighting is more about the way that you communicate. The communication aspect matters a lot, and it's always funny to me whenever people say facts over feelings because how you wrap the package up and like how you're able to talk to somebody that matters a lot in terms of how effective they're going to be and how effective your words are going to be because how somebody feels leads directly to what they do. Whether we know it or not, or whether we're willing to admit it or not, our feelings are just as important for the act of doing things because ultimately our feelings bias our actions. I want my AI to make fun of me. Should I celebrate? It's a Neurosama email. That's funny. To be fair, if the AI was as funny as the Neurosama one, I think I would want that too. Because the Neurosama AI is actually pretty funny. Sonic music, peak. I'm skipping. Sorry, I had to skip across. The Sonic fans were getting too much good stuff here. Way too much. Um, when you have that level of knowledge sharing, and if you package it in like a way that is nice, what you'll find is that people will be more open to share their perspective, and that's ideally what you want. Because at the same time as you teaching like a junior dev, as you teaching a more junior developer about something, you're also prompting them and giving them a space to open up about their thoughts too. And you're doing it in a way that hopefully they feel safe enough to, although it's hard because not everyone comes into the job with an idea of what feels safe. Like a lot of people will sort of come into the job with, and this is not their fault. It's just the reality that like it's hard for people to speak up about things that they don't feel confident about. And when you're new in a role, you don't feel confident about something. So somebody's first time, they're gonna be very like hesitant, right? But ideally, once you break down those barriers and you keep on thinking about the feeling and how to say something in like a nice manner, then you can get into a real discussion where everyone brings their expertise to something, no matter how junior they are, because even a junior may be a senior to you in some ways. And that's ideally what you want. But here, the AI doesn't doesn't do that. There is no discussion. The AI, and if you actually like read these, the AI and the interaction with the AI is do this, yes sir. Do this, yes sir. Do this, yes sir. And there's no explanation of what it is. There's no explanation of the reasoning why. It's just it's almost as if what the Copilot AI writes is just a very bad code comment that says what the code does. And you see this consistently all the way through every single time. And that's the beginning. I'm actually curious to see if I can see all commits by the GitHub Copilot. But yeah, it's now live. So I'm actually curious what to do here. User, can I do user Copilot? Is that how you do it? User Copilot? No. Copilot uses AI. Check for mistakes. What? What does that mean? Ask Copilot. What? What does this mean? Anyways, another thing that I wanted to show you is that this is so I was checking out Rust Wasm, right? There's this template that like the tutorial tells you to use. This template's broken. This template, the reason why it's broken is because there's a new Webpack version and it's using a really old one. The new Webpack version and the old Webpack version hasn't been updated to like handle we're almost done, to handle the new way of loading in WASM files per the spec, which is like, it used to be a synchronous thing, but now it's an asynchronous thing, so you have to load in asynchronously, so it breaks, right? Fuck Webpack. I'll talk about Webpack in a bit. I just need to change the soundtrack to something that, you know, really speaks to this strangeness here. I need comedy music. But the interesting part about, you know, hey, oh, perfect, I have comedy music for you. I have some good comedy music for you. Well, no, don't play this. No. But the reason why I'm showing this is because it's interesting because of how you would sort of expect it to work. Basically, because of that change, and because these template repos haven't been updated in a while, what you end up seeing with these unmaintained repos, because obviously it's like time and space thing, is that you have to fix it yourself, and the problems are sort of obscure on how you would fix it, because using WASM is also, it's still new despite being 10 years old. Like, there's still a lot of things that they're still changing as they go. Although it is, I think, within phase 5 now, I think, in terms of standardization or something, or like now it's going live. So like there's like pieces of it that like work well, but in terms of like fixing problems, you're still at the cutting edge, right? Have you seen the Neuro versus Grok beef? I have seen that. Grok explained Gronkus. I have seen that. But it's funny when you pit AIs against each other. But I think Neurosama had the upper hand. So when you get repos like this that don't get updated in a very, very long time, sometimes what you get is something interesting where people will accidentally talk about things and do things that aren't really important to it. There was a hilarious screenshot once of, I had a screenshot of a GitHub issue where somebody inside of a comment for some reason responded to an email that they didn't know was in that they were on the notification email, and they said, I don't know this, and it was like just some random person. This is kind of like that, where you have all this information about like, okay, well, all these different pull requests and issues about, oh, this repo doesn't work and it's like breaking certain things, and like maybe we shouldn't be using nightly Rust and stuff like that, and maybe we can fix like a compile warning. And in this one, add a global leaderboard. Now, mind you, again, this repo is a placeholder repo for you to pull down that you can then use as the starting template of your Rust Wasm module, right? Because this has everything that you need in order to compile over into a Rust Wasm module that calls the alert function. Like, it's a very simple template, right? But because, you know, there's no need to update it and people don't really do it. And also, sorry, the Webpack one is a different repo, which is a different issue. Sometimes you get stuff like this where somebody gets a little lost and confused and they open a PR pointing to the wrong thing. So this is just a repo that has an alert button and just talks about, okay, what you need to do to like get started with the Rust Wasm. This person added a global leaderboard, and I was like, what does this mean? The tracks player progress across both games while maintaining the project's commitment to pure Wasm. And I'm like, what does this mean? Because this doesn't make any sense. When you look at this PR and you think about what it's doing, you're like, I don't know if I don't know if they know that this is a template PR, or like this is a template repo that has no, what game are they, what two games are they talking about? This feels like an AI comment. This whole thing feels like an AI PR. And somebody even Vlad 20012 reacted with confused. I'm gonna hit you with the confused emoji too, man. I'm gonna hit you with that too, because I don't know how you can look at this project and then go, you know what this needs is, you need a leaderboard for games. And I'm like, what games? But it connects to a shit ton of like services too, like Cloudflare D1 to Cloudflare workers using the very experimental WASI stuff. And it's fascinating. I love going through repos and checking out pull requests. You should do it sometime. There's something funny about the fact that sometimes you'll stumble upon a repo and there'll be a strange like vibe about it where nobody seems to know what's going on, but everybody uses it as a way for them to as like a place to dump their ideas on in public, and it doesn't make any sense. Maybe you have to check their account. Maybe it'll explain something. Okay, remember, don't tap the glass. Do not tap the glass. I'm tapping the glass because I'm just curious about this, but I've got this. It's a Minecraft. This is a child. I'm not mad at them. This child is smarter than I ever was because this is a child. Do you know how I know that they're a child? Because they have a Minecraft profile picture on GitHub of the Ender Dragon exploding. that's the that's the Ender Dragon exploding. Oh man, that's good. Disunited, keeping Discord alive with bots on Replit, a math bot. You know what? This is probably some kid who's just learning how to use this. Kudos to them. You know what? Kudos to them. Add my science dino. Add my sciencey dino. What? Hack Club / dinosaurs. What's this? Sorry, we had to truncate to 1,000 files. Why are there so many files? A collection of Orpheus Hack Club mascot drawings. Look at them at rar.hackclub.com. What is this? rar.hackclub.com. Rar. That's really good, actually. Wait, these are kind of funny. 123XX Gamer Gur Dino. This is all. It's specifically the UI not being removed that gives it away. Yeah, this is chat. This is all. These are children. We are making fun of children, and now I feel bad because I'm an asshole. I'm sorry, whoever this child is. The fact that you're doing this at this age is commendable, and I hope that you keep it up. You have a long and fulfilling path ahead of you. Just know that the money is getting tight. Unread notifications. Oh, right, yeah, for that thing. Yeah, so this is kind of cool, though. I don't know why this exists, though, but there's a lot of dinosaurs on this website, which is kind of cool. Offline Park, okay. Oh, okay. That's just an Undertale character. A dinosaur stealing food from a restaurant. He has a burger and fries on his foot, spaghetti in his hand, and a steak in his other hand. From script kiddo to furry god dev very soon. True! Very soon. This is the pipeline. If you do want to see the neural... Oh, God. What is this naming? Everyone is moist critical. The Neuroverse Grok situation is crazy. So Grok got his ass handed to it, just like a poop shoot. It got poop flung all over its face, like it was a worker instead of a cleanliness septic tank. This is an entire video that you can watch about the Neuro Grok thing. It was just a long Twitter thread about Neuro fighting Grok. I made a new Twitter account just to look at it, and then I deleted the account because I don't want to use Twitter. Can I say something about Twitter? Why is nobody moving over to Blue Sky? Because Blue Sky has everything. It's like the same thing, and you even get your own domain name. That's pretty sick. Anyways, let's just keep looking at these dinosaurs. What the dino doing? What the dino doing? I have failed? Oh my god. Look at this. Oh my god. Some child made this. Chat, some child made this dinosaur. I have failed. That's so sad. Oh my god. This poor child. Before this page has a really deep story. This is before it ever showed up here. This child felt the crushing weight of the world on their shoulders and said, I don't know what to feel anymore. I don't know how to feel. All I know is that everything feels awful. This poor child has had to deal with feelings that they never knew that they had inside of them. Because they thought to themselves that the world was open to them. They looked at all the promises that all the adults around them gave, like, yes, you can make money, yes, you can find a job, and yes, you can find love and happiness, and don't worry, your time will come, as all of ours, because we live in a society that gives and provides to each other. That your parents know what they're doing, that all the adults around you know what they're doing. And then you see it. A little glimpse of it. A hole in the facade, a tear in the fabric, in the veil that is hiding from you the ugly truth of the world. That nobody knows what they're doing. That there is no hope. that the world is going to die out and you'll have nothing at all. That before your time is actually going to come, before your time even arrives, you've already run out of time. That there's nothing waiting for you on the other end. And how do you even cope with these emotions? You're a 12-year-old. You don't know how to cope with these emotions. You barely even knew that you were conscious. And the only time that you truly understood that you were alive was when you realized that there is nothing to life. And so you lay on the floor, arms and legs splayed out like this dinosaur, and you shed a tear in your eye, and you say, I have failed. Nobody actually knows shit. This poor child. This is so fucking funny to look at. I'm sorry. It just looks so funny. It's so sad. It's so sad. If this was my niece or my nephew, I would just go and hug them and then be like, there. It's okay. It doesn't really get better. So just get used to it now. I just hug them and be like, it doesn't really get any better. So get used to it now, because you're gonna have to deal with this later on too. Oh man. Anyways, thank you for joining me on this funny little trip where we made fun of child programmers. Give me a second. I need to go wash my hands really quick. They're a little sweaty today because it's very hot today. Jesus Louises. We just came off of like a storm surge. And then the heat comes in after the storm, after killing everyone's power. Good thing I didn't stream yesterday, by the way, because my internet was out for most of the day. And when I'm back, we'll be going right into Golden Light, everyone. You just don't worry. Keep faith. At least you'll die someday. Am I late? Sorry, that took a bit longer than expected. Sorry, had to help bring some things in. This next one, I'm going to ask all of you to close your eyes and pretend like you don't see anything, but keep them open because I think you're going to enjoy this next segment, okay? It's a bit of a weird paradox, but basically, I don't know the legality of this, so pretend like you heard nothing, pretend like you saw nothing. Pretend like there's nothing here, but that you happen to enjoy what it is that you're seeing. That it's something that you see, you don't understand, but you feel it in your bones and you feel like there's something good here, okay? Just feel like you're feeling something, but don't recognize it for what it is, and don't tell anyone what you're going to see. I'm out, everyone. Thanks for showing up. I gotta go. I'm gonna go eat and do some things. I'll be back tomorrow. Tomorrow, we're going back to finishing things, because we need to finish a ton of things, actually. There's like a bunch of games that I started that we didn't finish. Siege and the Sandfox, I've been hankering to play that and finish that game, because that game also has a movement system that's very difficult to find anywhere else. I really want to continue Blueprints to solve the puzzles, but I didn't organize the notes yet. There's Replicube, which I need to show you my progress on, and we get to play it together. I'm still trying to convince most of the chat to join Replicube to add me as a rival. And Navicular Metis, I still want to solve the puzzles in that. Then we got to go further back and finish the other backlog of games. So I started one too many games, and we didn't finish anything like White Knuckle, because in between those old games, I did games like Secret Agents Wizard Board, the Sonic Syndrome Personality Test, Space Warlord Organ Trader, like shit like that. A Dark Messiah co-op mod run. Like there's so many things that I started. And for the next like month, I'm dedicating it to finishing games. I just want to get one final try things out, out of the way, because I couldn't help myself. It's Dragon's Dogma Online. Bye everyone. Have a good night. I'll see you all later. If you're on the Discord, please do tell me your name in Replicube, because tomorrow will be a Replicube-ish day, or it might not be. I'm not sure. It's gonna be it's either Replicube or Siege and the Sandfox. Might even be both, but it depends on how much time they have, and I only know by tonight. I'm going to go now. Bye everyone. How do people say bye on this?